guys, it's Sad Crowman, and guess who cleaned off his desk? What? No, it was me! You don't believe me? Look. Look. Nice reading surface right here. I need to cut my hair, it's getting really long. Like, really long. Anyway, for this winter equinox reading, summer equinox if you're on the southern hemisphere, we will be choosing between 4 CDs. Remember, you're not necessarily picking your favorite CD, although your favorite CD might be the right reading for you. You're picking the one that you feel intuitively drawn for, because guess what? I didn't pre-select the cards, but when I shuffled them, I put them inside the CD cases. So your message is hidden inside one of these CD cases. Isn't that fun? Now you will be choosing between Madonna, My Chemical Romance, The Black Parade, Krankhaus by Angelspit, and Blue Bannisters by Lana Del Rey. If you're not sure which one to pick, your intuition is going to be that little whisper of something that feels just right. It just feels right and you can't explain it. And if you pick wrong the first time, that's okay. You can always... I start out all of my readings by trying to guess your general vibe and who you are, so that way if a reading isn't for you, you know it from the get-go, so you don't waste too much of your time if you accidentally pick the wrong stack. So without further ado, I'll go to a card selection screen so that way you have some time to pick, and I will see you guys for your reading. Oh, actually, one more thing. Always remember, especially with predictions with tarot, are never perfect, and the further off you go, the more likely something is to be slightly wrong, incorrect, different. This is actually a blessing in disguise, because that means if you get a reading and it's a bad reading, or there's something you don't like about your reading, or you didn't hear something you were hoping you would hear in your reading, you can always change it, and there's ample time to do that. So that's why we do these big long readings. That, because I can't possibly be asked to do one of these like once every single month. So you get 4 a year, and that's it for me. Alright, first we're going to get started with Madge here. Alright, we have some advice cards here, some zodiac cards, and some obstacles to overcome. Firstly, let's look at your... Yeah, I think I need the other light. I wanted candlelit aesthetic, but we need light. We need light. So let's find out. Those of you who chose Madonna, what is your winter equinox going to be like? I believe that's summer equinox on the upside down part of the world, Australia. Listen, I'm tired, okay? Actually, I think you are tired. I think you are tired, because I wasn't tired until I tapped into your energy, and now I'm tired, so don't even blame me for sounding stupid. Okay, so... Alright, so we have Pictus Astris, Musca, Chameleon. Those two go together. You'll see why in a minute. We have the Phoenix, and we have Sagittarius. Now a lot of you probably have Sagittarius somewhere in your chart, actually, because you see, I read constellational astrology, which is based on the size of the constellations in the sky and is based off of fixed stars rather than the equinoxes. So if you are born, if you're around your 20s, 30s, something like that right now, if you're a millennial, you probably have an outer planet stellium of Sagittarius. Or another way of looking at it, if you looked at your birth chart and all your outer planets are in Capricorn, in the type of astrology I use, they're in Sagittarius. So you might be around my age. But it's also possible, yeah, you have Sagittarius in your chart. If not that, you could be a life path 5. I feel that life path 5 and Sagittarians have similar energies. Also, it's possible that you value freedom quite a bit. Freedom might be one of your core most important things. Like, it seems to me like you are a bit of a chaser too. You go after what you want. I don't mean that in a bad way either. And I'm getting that from Musca and Chameleon. Now, obviously with things like constellations, different groups of people, different civilizations come up with different meanings, and there's not a lot of lore behind Musca and Chameleon constellations. They're just kind of there for the most part. But there is one, and I wrote this down on here so I wouldn't forget it. There is one interpretation. Somebody, when they drew the map, they drew the chameleon like its tongue was reaching out to catch the fly. So that's what I'm getting that from. Now, as for Phoenix, I think most of us know what the deal is with phoenixes. When a phoenix dies, it is reborn in the ashes. So you may have had a lot of times where you got knocked down in life and had to get back up, or had to otherwise reinvent yourself. And if that's the case, I want you to know that doesn't make you fake. Change is good. Like, again, we have this chameleon here. You may also be able to very easily blend in with your environment. And if you decide that environment you're in, if that no longer works for you, you reach out and you find something else. And I think that's a very admirable quality to have. Now this card, it seems a little different from the others. It doesn't seem to fit in as much. But this is, in Greek, the great fish. And there are different legends, again, different places in the world, but for the most part, there's some legend about this great fish that saves somebody. It could be, you know, Jonah and the whale as an example. It's the only example I can remember right now. Oh, and it's also known to have swallowed the water from Aquarius and birthed the two fish in Pisces. So you may also have a lot of water in your chart. Again, I'm using constellational astrology, so I don't know, you might want to generate your constellational chart if you really like my readings, because I find that it's easier to just use the same astrology as the reader, because you'll learn more about yourself that way. It's instead of trying to force whatever you do on them, I guess, if that makes sense. Like, what I mean by that is, like, when I'm watching, say, an Aphrodite reading, I'm going to use tropical astrology, because that's what he uses. But if I'm watching a Anita Serene reading, I'm going to switch to sidereal, because that's what she uses. But if you don't feel like generating your constellational chart will probably be very similar to your sidereal chart. So if you know that one, then you're probably good. I don't want to put too much on you. No, I forgot to say what this means even. Other than you may have a lot of water in your chart, which is... Okay, so, you know, I'm seeing a lot of fire energy here. With this Phoenix, this Sagittarius, and even this chameleon going for that fly here. But right here we have a very heavy water card. So those are two opposing elements. And you may find that there are times in your life where you are kind of opposing yourself almost. Like, there are just certain things about you that are so opposite. Like fire and water. But you are those different sides of you, those opposite sides of you, are still coexisting in your one being. Now let's see what challenges you may face this winter, because this is your vibe this winter. So what challenges may you face? Okay. Alright, Braden and Cage. I remember I drew that as a qualifier earlier. I promise, by the way, I didn't handpick these cards. I just thought it would be cute to pull them out of a CD case. So I tore the CDs out so I could put some cards in there. I just thought it would be so cute. Forgive me. Alright. So a lot of you may be having a hard time these holidays, and you may be having a hard time all the holidays, so you might be saying, well, yeah, duh, said Crowman, this is just the way holidays are for me. I do not like them. I do not have a good family life. Things are not working out. And that may also be part of why you value freedom so much, because I'm really getting the impression that this pile really values their freedom a lot. And it may be that you felt like you were caged up, like your whole life. Like maybe you just had very strict parents, maybe you had parents that didn't teach you anything, so you had to rely on them, or some fucked up shit like that. And in order to escape, some of you have turned to an addiction of some sort. Now, we think of addictions, we always think, oh, alcohol, heroin, but it could be numerous things. Addiction could be like a habit you can't kick, such as always talking down on yourself, which makes you feel worse in the long run. It could also be self-harm, causing yourself pain to get some release of the adrenaline, the dopamine. I don't remember what chemical gets released. You're gonna have to excuse me. I've been out of school for a long time. Yeah, I studied psychology in school, but I've been out for a long time. But anyway, and you may just feel like this was your fate to suffer with this fated to suffer card and this peaceful among the thorns. I'm really getting a big either self-harm or shooting up vibe from this. It seems to be that that's your release when things get stressful during the holiday seasons, and a lot of you probably work retail jobs, of course, and some of you, well, Black Friday's over, thank God, but Christmas isn't, and a lot of you will still be feeling the effects of this, like, even past the first 4 days, you know, because again, the winter equinox, it starts on the 21st. Christmas is on the 25th. And there's still going to be sales after Christmas, a lot of work to do, and then of course you're going to have to visit your family, and it's just a very stressful season. So I am not coming at you with any kind of judgment right now for feeling the need to kind of conk out from this, you know, to dissociate from this, because you know, I myself, I have a hard time with it this season. However, every now and then, something that helps me is to take a walk. And I know that sounds ridiculous. Like, take a walk? Are you kidding me? It's cold outside. It's cold outside, Crowman. But, you know, taking a walk, it can be a really great distraction, especially since it's cold, actually. So if you're thinking about how cold you are, you at least aren't thinking about your problems. I mean, it's better than, doing demonetize... Who am I kidding? This channel isn't monetized. It's better than cutting yourself. You know, it's better than burning yourself. It's better than, you know, doing things that have negative long-term consequences. Even if it's just for a short while, and it's a bit of an exercise. It's a bit of an exercise. People act like walking is an exercise. It is. It gives you some of those feel-good chemicals, and you need some of those feel-good chemicals. So I'm not going to tell you to stop and abandon all these coping mechanisms you have right now, because I know you're not going to do it. But... But at least add in some healthy ones. That's what I want you to do. I want you to add in some healthy coping mechanisms without necessarily feeling the need to ditch all of your negative coping mechanisms. Because I guess that's a little subjective, isn't it? What's positive, what's negative? And a lot of it has to do with our society and yada-da-da-da-da-da. We don't need to get into that. Let's get through the reading before I bore you all to tears. You know, these are advice cards. I think you guys are big dreamers as well. You know, you have this fire and water energy that I was mentioning earlier. Like a really hot steam and, or maybe a volcano. So one of these cards, Betty Bender says, anything I've ever done that was ultimately worthwhile initially scared me to death. I think your spirit guides want you to get a little outside of your comfort zone this winter. You're gonna have to get outside of your comfort zone if you don't like the holidays, or if there's an aspect of, like, I'm not getting the vibe that this group is happy about the holidays. And that might be why you vibed with me above some of the other creators too, because everyone else has Christmas decorations. I'm just like, yeah, fuck Christmas. I got some silver here, I got some fool's gold here, some red. That's Christmas. Alright, so we also have defeat may serve as well as victory, to shake the soul and let the glory out. So all these painful things you're going through, I'm not going to act like they're not painful. They are. And it's absolutely horrendous. Some of the things that you've dealt with in your life, I can feel it. Like, you're tired for a reason. You are exhausted for a reason. You've been through some of the worst stuff. But also keep in mind, some people, they go through their lives. Take, for example, people who, when the pandemic came, they'd never experienced depression or isolation before. They didn't do as well. You know, they didn't cope as well as some people who are just used to that sort of thing. Me, I was thriving when the pandemic started. I know that sounds awful to say because, you know, but I was thriving because I was used to isolation. So I knew how to keep it together and still get things done. Whereas people in my family who had very luxurious lives and either hadn't suffered in a long time or hadn't suffered, period, they had a really hard time adjusting to the pandemic. And it's like that. I'm not going to give you that what doesn't kill you make you stronger bullshit. But the thing is, I feel like this group either already has chosen to become stronger with their, so they could triumph, or they are about to. You guys are about to, because, you know, you guys are tired, but you haven't been broken down yet. You're just tired for now. Another card, creativity is contagious, pass it on. So I think now is also the time to really be sharing your creative impulses, but share them with the right people. If there's somebody you don't trust that you have to meet up with, maybe don't tell them about your creative projects, because they'll just try to discourage you out of jealousy. So ignore those people. Like, some people will not be supportive, and you can kind of tell which ones they are going to be. And if they've let you down before, they'll let you down again. So, you know, be careful who you share your creativity with. And I love this card. I feel like this card pretty much accurately sums up everything I've seen in your piles so far. And that is, it is not the mountain we conquer, but ourselves. I think, I'm not going to say you're the problem. Now I have that Taylor Swift song stuck in my head. But I am going to say that once you conquer the problems that are within yourself, all of this stuff, all of these obstacles right here, they will just poof, they will melt away. I was gonna throw them, but then I remembered there was fire all around and I didn't want to burn my cards. But yeah, you won't feel like a bride in a cage anymore, or fated to suffer anymore, once you overcome the problems that are within yourself. Let's see if I can get anything more specific on that. What is the root of these addictions? Any day now, Spirit. Gifts, yeah. Oh, God, yeah, this... You gotta buy a gift for everyone. Pain in the ass. Huge pain in the ass. It's stressful, you know, deciding what to get people, knowing they probably won't be grateful, knowing for the most part this is just some social charade that we put up. Yeah. I also couldn't help but think money. Money is probably tight for you this time of year. Anything else? Wedding. Reverse. Okay, bride in a cage, wedding reverse. Alright, this is... I was wondering if this would come up. So this is a message for the select few of you. There's probably only going to be like a couple of you who are going to resonate with this. But somebody here is engaged or recently wedded. And it was a mistake. And they're realizing it's a mistake. It could be you, it could be a friend. This may have been something that happened a while ago, in fact. But yeah, if you have a friend who has cold feet, or you have cold feet, you know, your partners should make you feel safe. Your partners should make you feel welcome. Your partners should make you feel like you don't have to do it alone. And that you can be free and not trapped by them. You know, no matter how much you love them, your soulmate is not going to make you feel trapped. Your twin flame, if those are real, is not going to abuse you. Just, you know, be very cautious. And, you know, it's never too late. I would much rather end up... You know, as stressful as this sort of situation is, it's better to call off the wedding than it is to get a divorce 3 months after because you were too scared to, you know. It's what I'm saying is, it's better to call off the wedding now than Kim Kardashian it later. Does that make sense? Alright. Alright, I feel like all of this has been clear so far. Though I'd like to see more about your fire and water energy. I'm just kind of interested in you as a group. Tell me more, spirit guides. Oh my god, I'm singing. Tell me to stop. Sorrow in reverse. Yeah. You're like depressed and fiery at the same time. I feel that. I feel that. Maybe my sister's right. Maybe I am an empath, but also, ew, gross. Alright, I'm going to be using the Game of Thrones Tarot. First, what can we expect this December? Now, note that this portion, this is predicting the future, or attempting to predict the future. So 2 things you gotta remember. 1, you are not stuck with this future if you don't like it. Because, the longer this goes, the more of a chance it's not going to happen anyway, because we all have choice, we all have free will. So remember that. If you get something and you hate it, you can always change it through the law of attraction, or, yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens when we get there. That last week of December, what's that going to be like? The 5 of Cups in reverse. It's not too bad. It's like, oh my god, it's over. Christmas is finally fucking over. I mean, well, you'll have to endure the holiday, but after that, it's over. Just get it over with. Knight of Cups. Give me a moment to think. of course, you're gonna get invited to another party. I'm sorry, you're gonna get invited to another party, whether you want to go or not. It might be a New Year's party, but I'm definitely getting another party. And on the one hand, you want to be a party animal, I think. I think there's a side of you where you want to be a party animal, but you're just too damn depressed to deal with it right now. I feel ya. Oh boy. On the bright side, if it's not that, the Knight of Cups can also indicate a new love. So, if you are invited to a party, you might want to go, you might meet somebody there who's potentially interesting or who you're already interested in. You'll see, it might not be so bad. It might not be so bad. Alright, what about good old 2023, January? What can we expect for January? Ace of Coins. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. New year, new you. But I think a lot of you also specifically plan on starting something new with the new year, and it could be a business venture. You know, if we want to take the Ace of Coins very literally, it could be that you're getting a new job in January. It could be that you're starting a new business in January. And it usually has to do something with property and prosperity. And I'm sure you guys will have a lot of property, a lot of new property, because Christmas. For those of you who celebrate that anyway. But then again, even if you don't, there's usually somebody forcing presents on you anyway. But yeah, I think that for most of you, if you do not have plans to start up a new business or start a new job or something like that, I think a lot of you may be learning a new skill. You could learn a new language, and that could open you up to a lot of future opportunities. You could learn, or you might actually be learning skills that they're not new to you per se, like not totally new. You could be refining what you have, but I think it's more like you're learning a new skill that's connected to one you already have. Like, for example, if you're an artist, you're going to learn business so that way you know how to turn your art into a business. If you know how to sing already, you're going to learn how to produce so that way you don't have to rely on a producer to bring your vision to life. Something like that is what I'm seeing for January. But it's a long-term future thing is what I'm seeing. And also the camera's about to die, so fuck. Okay. Now we're moving from January to February. 3 of Coins. That's not bad. So, I'm seeing a lot of early success, like it's probably only going to take you 1 to 2 months, maybe 3, to get a good handle on this skill. Like, I'm not saying you're going to be an expert overnight, but you're going to learn a lot during this time. And if it was a job opportunity and not learning a new skill or something like that, I think you're going to get a lot of acclaim at work. Like, not necessarily everyone, but the people who count are going to notice that you're doing a good job. There will also be other people, though, who are envious of you, so keep in mind, yes, you're going to be acknowledged for what you've built. You're going to be acknowledged that you're an asset. What you've learned is going to somehow be acknowledged, but there always comes a price with that, and that price is jealousy, maybe get an evil eye charm. I mean, that's all I can think of to recommend. Alright, Spirit Guides, what about... Hey, I didn't even give the date yet. What about like mid-February. February, March, yeah, like mid-February, early March, that area. Okay, we got a lot of cards. We got a lot of cards. Things are getting busy. Alrighty. We got Judgment. 7 of Coins. Hold on, I'm going to separate these so I don't get them confused. Judgment, 7 of Coins, Ace of Swords, 3 of Swords in reverse, ew, and the Hierophant. Okay, so your love life is shit. I probably shouldn't have said it like that. Let me think of a different way to say it. I have a feeling one person is being cleared out so another person can come in. Also, I'm recalling back from earlier, where did I put it? This canceled wedding. It may not be too literal. Yeah, it might be simply that you are a person with a partner who's having trouble with that partner. And if that is the case for you, this isn't going to be for everyone. Again, this is a general reading, so don't panic if your partner is like great and wonderful and all that. But if your partner is not great and wonderful, I see you replacing them with someone else. Because we have this Ace of Swords with this 3 of Swords in reverse, I'm imagining, and it's in that same, you know, this is Jon Snow holding up his sword. It's in the same thing, like, I'm imagining him like jerking it out. I guess. Like. And that will make it somewhat easier to deal with, like. Word this correctly. So it's not like it's not gonna hurt, but I do see that you have options in love, so don't settle for some crap option when there are good options. But business is still going well. We have Judgment, so more recognition, and 7 of Coins, so your rewards will probably start to pay off by March. Which I believe the equinox ends at March 20th, right? So yeah, by around March, things are going to start to pay off in your career or your studies, whatever's going on. I completely forgot to even think about, like, school and studies there. I forget. Okay. Some of you are probably going to land on the Dean's List, I'm pretty sure, actually. If you care about the Dean's List. I never gave a singular shit about the Dean's List. I think I made the Dean's List once in my life, and I was like, oh, hoorah, another piece of paper to lose. But, oh, and with this Hierophant, hold on, let me take a moment to think about this Hierophant, because it's with your romance cards, but I'm not sure this is about love. Because he can mean so many things. He can mean an educational opportunity, such as maybe at work you have to go back and get your license for something, or taking a college course or whatever. But it's not necessarily that. It can be and it can represent an authority figure. And I just got a terrible message. I don't know if I should share it. I'm going to share it. For some of you, your boss might have an interest in you that is not appropriate. If so, I don't know what to tell you. I've never gotten in a situation like that and come out okay. Let's find out. I don't think that's for most people, but let's see. Is this their boss? Spirit guides. Malady. I don't know why I asked a yes or no question to my gypsy cards. I don't know what I expected to get. Can I have more detail on this Hierophant and what he means here? Faithfulness in reverse. Okay. Yeah, your boss might... I don't get the impression he's gonna make a move on you, but for some of you who have a boss who's interested in you, they may be married, so be cautious about that. Be cautious about that. And it might not be a boss, it could be a supervisor, another coworker, someone with some kind of authority or seniority over you. One of those two, authority or seniority. Anything else, spirit guides? Fortune. Well, if you stick around and stick through it and just kind of ignore it and ride the coast, it might pay off for you. Even though that really sucks. Like, I'm finding this situation to be absolutely repulsive, so I'm hoping this is not for most of you. But luckily, you know, this is so far in the future. We're looking like 3 months in the future right now, so it should be more than possible to dodge and avoid this if you're careful, if you use the law of attraction, or just, I don't know. This situation would drive me nuts. Ugh. Well, I suppose that is it. If I do a love reading, it's going to be separate because last time I did a reading like this, it was so long, and I can only deal with so much long before I can't anymore. I just can't anymore. Of course, my mistake with my last equinox reading, I made it way too long. I drew too many cards for myself, and I stuck them in those cute little mugs, and... But anyway, good luck to you guys. Excuse me, hiccup. Y'all are gonna need it. It sounds like you have a really, really, truly eventful life. But on the bright side, I think if anyone can get through it, it is you guys. So don't worry too much. Like really, I'm confident you can get through this. So thank you very much. Please rate, subscribe, and blessed be, motherfuckers. Today I'm going to show you the manifestation method I used to earn like over $10,000 to move out. The most important thing you want to keep in mind, of course, always, is that in order to make it work, you have to believe in it. First, I will tell you what things you need to get started. Then I'll tell you how I did this and how it worked for me, because again, belief is the most important ingredient. So you need to know why this works for me. And then after that, I'll get into how to do the spell. So you'll need a jar. That's pretty much it. Alright, next we are doing Krankhaus by Angelspit. I love this album. It's an industrial goth album, I believe that's the genre. I mean, I was never that great with genres. But if you like really, really angry, heavy industrial music, I do recommend them. And I forgot there were cards inside, so of course they're gonna flop open. Alright. We have some cards for obstacles here that you'll be facing this winter equinox. I have some cards for advice that you'll need to hear this equinox. I believe you got more advice than any of the other piles. You poor, poor, pitiful souls. And then we got some, what's these things called? Some stars, the stars, yeah. So we got Hercules, Heracles, whatever. We got Gemini. Oh, I use constellational astrology, by the way. If you don't know your constellational astrology placements, they're probably the same or similar to your sidereal placements or your Vedic placements. And we got Hydra, Draco. These go together. I can just tell. We got Cancer, Aquarius, and Capricorn. Alright. So we got 2 air signs, Gemini and Aquarius here. Then we got Cancer and Capricorn. These might not necessarily be your placements. This may just be your personality. You might be, say, a bit quirky, multifaceted person. Deep down you have some feelings, a lot of feelings, but you try your best to hide them because you want everyone to take you seriously. That's what I'm getting off of this. And it's okay to be soft, and also it's what I'm getting off of my, like, emotions right now, because I'm feeling yours, sort of, like, the group, the collectives, I'm feeling it. And you know, it's okay to be a little weird, and it's okay to have emotions. And those sides to you, you don't have to hide them all the time, just so you know. But you are, you know, it doesn't make you any less of a bad bitch. And I know you're a bad bitch, okay, because we got I keep wanting to say Heracles. We got Hercules here. And we also have Draco and Hydra. Now, if you're not familiar with the legend, Heracles had to fight several monsters and complete several challenges. Oh god, why did he have to do that? I don't even remember. Well, I guess I apparently forgot the legend. I forgot why he had to do it, but I know out of all of those, he had to fight the Draco and the Hydra. The Hydra was a serpent with 9 heads, one of which was infinite. That was the second trial. And another trial was the Draco, who guarded one of Hera's apple trees, and one of Hercules' duties was to grab one of those apples. So I have a feeling you have a lot of challenges that you're dealing with. And you may not feel like you're doing a good job, you may feel like you're too weak for it, you may feel like you're not cut out for it, but I'm telling you right now, you are. You are taking these challenges on, and you are winning. You are winning so hardcore. You have no idea what a good job you're doing because you're too busy being down on yourself. Don't be down on yourself. You're doing a great job with whatever these challenges are. You are acing it. Let's find out what these are. I'm curious. Okay, so we have perchance to dream and envious gluttony. Ah, okay. You have a lot of big dreams, but you're being held back, I think, by envy on both sides. Like, I feel like you are doing a really great job, but you don't see that, so you find yourself getting envious of others. Meanwhile, others are envious of you, and they are evil-eyeing you because they want to be like you, and you just have no idea because you're too down on yourself. And now you're feeling a little cocky, right? That's a good way to feel. Let's get out these advice cards. I feel like this was not that mysterious. It is what it says on the tin. So, failure is simply the opportunity to begin again, this time more intelligently. Henry Ford. And I have no idea if Henry Ford actually said this or what. These came from Kroger for $1. But I think this is a good thing to keep in mind, because there are going to be multiple times in your life when you fail, and that doesn't mean that you're not good. It doesn't mean you're not talented. It doesn't mean you're doing things wrong. It just means next time you know how to do it better. Not everyone has to be an overnight success. As a matter of fact, you probably don't want to be an overnight success because that's stressful as hell. So whatever you are, be a good one. And I have a feeling this kind of ties in with that envious gluttony right there. So whatever you're doing, instead of being jealous of people who you feel are better than you or are doing a better job than you, which, newsflash, most of them aren't actually doing better than you just think they are, because you're only seeing the best stuff that they're creating, or, you're seeing their highlight reel on the Instagram or whatever. That's not really how it is for them. But, so instead of comparing yourself to others, strive to be the best at what you do. And if you can't be the best, you'll still be pretty damn good. If you don't like the road you're walking, Start paving another one. Dolly Parton. Love that one. Dolly Parton, always good. I love Dolly Parton. I would start a religion surrounding Dolly Parton. Dolly is great. Now, this one's pretty self-explanatory. Say perhaps you did fail. Something, in a way, something didn't go right. This is also the perfect chance to start anew, if that's what you'd rather do. You don't have to keep doing the same old, trying to revive that dead horse and make something work after it didn't. It's perfectly okay. It doesn't mean you're giving up if you throw in the towel sometimes. Sometimes it's just better, sometimes you get a better idea than the first one. And you can always, if it's a creative project, for example, you can always put it on the back burner and come back to it later. I read a lot of, there are a lot of creative people here. That's why I say that. Alright, and this one is from Orson Swett Martin. The golden opportunity you are seeking is in yourself. This is another important thing. Pairing that with envious gluttony again. Again, all these dreams you have the power to bring them out. You know, they are already inside of you. You just have to keep working at it. This one's from Goethe, and I'm pronouncing that wrong, but I don't care. Whatever you can do or dream, you can begin it. Boldness has genius, power, and magic in it. That's basically just what I said, but in another card. Okay. Oh, and I promise I didn't pre-pick these cards. I know they seem like way too conveniently, but I just thought they'd be cute if they came out of the CD case, so I shuffled them off camera. God, my throat hurts. Oh, there's water over there. Sometimes miracles do happen. Oh yeah, I was just informing you I was not in fact cheating. I just thought it would be cute if they came out of the case, but then I forgot they were in the case and I opened it and they flopped all over the place. Okay, anyway. Failure is simply the opportunity to begin again, this time much more intelligently. I'll remember that when I open up this one. I won't open it up right side up. Alright. Faith is to believe what you do not see. The reward is of this faith. The reward of this faith is to see what you believe. St. Augustine. This is beautiful too. I sound so unconvinced right now. Basically what it's saying here is to have faith in yourself, and this is how I'm interpreting it for your advice, anyone. Anyway, have faith in yourself. And then it'll all fall to pieces. Like, it'll all fall into place, excuse me. If you sit there telling yourself, oh, I'm garbage, I'm not as good as so-and-so is so much better than me, I'm never going to achieve anything, that's what you're going to get. But if you tell yourself, I am just every bit as good as so-and-so, I am a hard worker, I'll keep working, and if I'm not as good as so-and-so yet, I will be as good as so-and-so by the end of the month, or whatever you need to tell yourself. And you just keep telling yourself that, and then that will come into fruition instead. You know, basic law of attraction stuff. Dalai Lama, there is no benefit in worrying whatsoever. So don't worry about your project not being successful. Whatever you're doing, whether you want to be a doctor, a lawyer, a painter, anything, don't worry about failure, because worrying about failure isn't going to get you any closer to your goal, your ultimate goal, which is to succeed. And I'm getting kind of a type A energy off of you guys. The other group 1, they were tired as hell. You guys, you have drive. Lots of drive. Of course, it's also possible you were drawn to both piles, in which case, ouch, I'm sorry. To be tired and have drive. That sounds like the worst thing that could happen to anyone. Okay, anyway, so Ralph Waldo Emerson. Do not go where the path may lead. Go instead where there is no path and leave a trail. And I feel like this goes excellently with this one by Joseph Campbell. Your own path you make with every step you take. That's why it's your path. Do not do anything to make those other bitches happy. Fuck them. Do what you want to do. I made that mistake terribly. I wanted to major in psychology so bad when I first started, but my whole family was like, no, psychology's not real. Psychology is stupid hogwash. You'll never find a job in psychology because psychology's bullshit, blah, 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 and I listened to them. Well, I spent my entire college career unhappy because I was not studying the subject I wanted to study. I mean, I was studying psychology. I just wasn't getting a grade for it because I wasn't taking psychology classes. So I was studying it as a hobby. I could have saved myself so much headache by just taking it in college. Who knows what I could be right now? I mean, I probably wouldn't be sitting here a YouTuber, but I mean, maybe this was my destiny. But yeah, do not let anybody else who does not have your best interest at heart guide your path. And how do you know if they have your best interest at heart? If they're trying to guide your path to somewhere you don't want to do, then they are not guiding you properly. Alright. Now, let's get some clarification. Now, this is the prediction part. This is where I try to predict where you'll end up this winter equinox, what'll happen. And if there's anything that doesn't resonate, leave it. It's for someone else in your group, obviously. And if it's something that you find unfavorable, leave that too. Law of attraction your way out of it. The future is malleable. You are not forced to this. And what is this doing in here? Sorrow. Okay. My Angelspit pile, spirit guides. How will their winter be? We already... Oh, come on. Was that supposed to be reversed or not? Alright. First of all, spirit guides. This is for, like, December first week, correct? Okay, good to know. Are these reversed? Okay, thank you. You couldn't have said that any quieter, could you have? A lot more cards here than the last group had. How much time do I have? 5 minutes, okay. We got the Queen of Cups, we got Death in reverse, we got the Three of Cups reversed, and we got Judgment. Well, first of all, and what I'm seeing here with this Death card, this Three of Cups in reverse, there might be some falling out with a friend group, or possibly even family, or a career, co-workers, something. There's some people around you who don't want you to succeed. And I saw that earlier with this Envious Gluttony card. There are absolutely people in your life who don't want you to succeed, and I get the impression that you're going to start cutting those people off. Now, you might not cut them off vocally like I usually cut people off, because I usually tell somebody, hey, fuck you, I'm done with you. Unless I'm, like, scared of them or something, or if I'm not sure yet, but whatever. Yeah, you might just be kind of, like, soft blocking them in a way, like you're, just stop listening to them or something, but otherwise you're not taking their input in for your life. And all I have to say to that is good for you, because you don't need it. I feel like you're thinking perfectly clearly on your own. You have this inner guidance, and you know what you need in your life, and you're going to pursue what you know you need in life. Frankly, these naysayers, they don't know what they're talking about. They want you to fail. They would hate it if you succeeded your dreams and they didn't succeed theirs. That would drive them nuts. So don't listen to a word they say. That's what you're learning. I feel like you're You know, for all your toughness, you're also a very emotionally intuitive person, and we got that earlier with this Cancer here. You have sensitivity and compassion, but just make sure you do not use it to ever let these people get back in a way where they can affect you. You know, don't let them tell you what to do. And I know I keep repeating that, but like, this is just, it's so important. I need you to understand that, you know, there may be a point, there may be several points in time where you're going to think, well, they were a good friend otherwise, maybe I should let them in and have coffee with them. That's fine, you know, but do not let them project their issues onto you, ever. You know, you can nurture people without letting them control you. Although, also, I would argue, if they need life help from you and then they want to go and tell you what to do, I mean, maybe they're not the sharpest crowns in the box, or however that goes. Brightest knife in the drawer? I don't get metaphors. But also with this Queen of Cups, I'm sensing you'll also get a lot of support from people, though. So it's not all going to be, you know, the negative. It's not all going to be the envious gluttony. You're also going to have people in your life that really care about you, that really see that inner strength. And they're going to recognize you for what you are, and they're going to be cheering you on. Even if there are people, I mean, I don't know, it could vary from person to person how many people are naysayers. But those naysayers, they don't mean shit. Because you're going to have plenty of people that see how great you are. They may not always make themselves known, but know that they're out there. There are a lot of people that believe in you. Alright, so let's see. December to January. How is it just this January? Alright, so Eight of Cups, it's pretty obvious what it means. Departure, leaving something behind. And this would be great if it was upright, because I'd see you walking away from people who should not be in your life to make room for new people in the new year. Because this is January we're talking about, January 2023, but we got it reversed. So it could mean, I'm seeing one of two things. You're either staying and putting up with people who you really should not be putting up with because they do not have your best interest at heart and there's no reason for it. Or I could see also you getting unfairly criticized for cutting people off. So lots of drama, in other words. My favorite thing, lots of drama. Now, if you excuse me, my brain dot executable has stopped working for a moment because we have the Ace of Cups in reverse and the Ten of Coins upright. So, you know, my brain dot executable is having a little bit of a shutdown, so I'm gonna need a minute to think on this one. I've thought about it. During this time, do not take money advice, do not make any big financial decisions if you can help yourself, because I'm seeing it could go either way. Let's see if I'm gonna try to get a clarification on this because this is confusing. Spirit guides, why the Ten of Coins upright and the Ace of Coins reversed? Help me make it make sense. Make it make sense, Spirit guides. You gonna knock all those cards on my ass? Really? You fucking... Six of Spears in reverse, King of Swords, Queen of Coins, Four of Cups, Eight of Coins. Okay. So I'm seeing a lot of hard work. but something's not panning out the way it was supposed to. But again, go back to our advice cards from earlier. Failure is simply the opportunity to begin again, this time more intelligently. So, if this future does come true for you and things work out, do not be too discouraged, because there's still a way to make it out. You just need to think very carefully, make logical decisions, don't spend money unnecessarily, and I know that's hard to do because it's the holidays. Budget appropriately, work really hard, then things might work out for the better. Alright, now let's go into February, Spirit Guides. February, we have the Ten of Swords in reverse and the Page of Cups upright. That's not terrible, really. It sounds like it's terrible. I mean, it's reversed. It's the Ten of Swords. It has traitor. So this is what I was warning you about earlier. The great possibility that something might not work out the way you want it to. Again, this can be mitigated with careful planning and work. But you're going to have to be very careful, because I'm seeing this in these cards a lot. I am seeing something not going according to plan, and I can feel your disappointment and frustration right now. But I want you to know that it doesn't have to be that way. You just have to be very cautious, plan very well. Maybe even consider delaying your startup to a time when it's more favorable. And then again, with the opposite meanings, always with the opposite meanings, we also have the Page of Cups. Now this could be a new person coming into your life also, because it's a court card. It could be a new person coming into your life. So there could be a youth who's very sensitive, possibly psychic, maybe a Pisces, water sign. So what are the other two water signs again? Cancer, Scorpio. Could be that you get more social opportunities, and from these social opportunities, like, I think with the general vibe of what I've seen so far, I think it's possible that one thing you're working toward is failing, but there's something else that's succeeding, because I'm getting so many great cards and so many terrible cards. I can only assume that something isn't working out, but something else is, and it may be a total surprise what is. I am very confused. I do not know what I am seeing. Spirit guides, what am I seeing? Faithfulness in reverse. For some of you, it may be a relationship that's not working out. Wife in reverse, okay. Maybe your wife's a bitch and you're finding a new one, who knows. I hope you're not watching this with your wife right now. That could be very awkward. Because I'm seeing young woman here, upright, and wife downward. You may be finding a new partner. Especially with faithfulness in reverse, you may find a partner is cheating on you. Then I also have thoughts. It could be that your own thoughts are what's holding you back the most. Like your thoughts are getting in your way. Spirit guide, what new opportunities could be coming? They all came upside down, but they're opportunities, so I'm going to read them right up. Okay, we got Priest, Lord, and Fortune. Well, Fortune is obviously, I mean, if nothing else, I saw positive fortune. mean, especially since we got that 10 of Cups earlier. Not 10 of Cups, 10 of Pentacles. With Priest, there may be a remarriage. When I saw the Lord card, I immediately started thinking about the lairds and the... What's that thing called? It's that scam group that was like advertising all over YouTube that would promise to make you a Scottish laird if you bought like a square foot of land. Someone might buy you an established title. Anything else? I don't think everybody here is interested in just marriage and money, right? Anything else? Journey. Okay, some of you will be able to go on a trip, but it might not be the trip you wanted exactly. Things might go kind of wrong, but at least you get to go. Yeah, you know, that sort of thing. Like maybe you don't get the best hotel, but you still get to see the sights, something like that. Anything else? One other thing. Servant. Alright, some of you guys may be needing to get a servant. Servant's probably not the best word nowadays. I mean, this is a pretty archaic deck, I don't know if you notice. But some of you may be getting a maid to help clean your house, a secretary to help you do some clerical work. If you are at work, you may be getting a new employee who is under you, who does some of the menial tasks you don't want to do. Or you could be getting some help around the house, something like that. I feel like this group is at a bit of a higher tax bracket than most of them. I could be wrong. Again, this is a general reading, so there are a lot of people here. And I know you guys aren't the most trustful when it comes to tarot readings. In general, this group I feel the least trust from, but... Alright, so this group's March. From March 1st to 20th, what can this group expect? Five of Coins. Queen of Spears, the Emperor. Yeah, I'm definitely seeing big wins and big losses for you. Yeah, I'm definitely seeing big wins and big losses for you this winter. Are you investing in anything perchance? Because I'm feeling like there's some kind of investment or something. But anyway, yeah, I'm thinking by March you may want to give up. Don't give up. Don't do that. But you might feel like you're just not getting what you need and there's no hope for it, but there is hope for it. It's just... Yeah, I'm seeing maybe some dissent. Like maybe the people under you, if you're at work and maybe you've been somewhere for a while, or people who've been there longer are just jealous or something like that. I'm just seeing a lot of strife, a lot of headache. You may be wondering if it's even worth it at that point. I know life can get that way sometimes. But really, it's not that the thing you want to do, it's not that your dreams aren't worth fighting for. It's that these people who are trying to drag you down are not worth fighting. Does that make sense? So whatever dream you have on it, whether this is a creative thing, a business thing, what have you, it's not that your dreams aren't worth it. It's that people are jealous of you and they're trying to drag you down. You've probably had that problem your whole life though, so like get used to it. If you're not used to it already, which I have a feeling you are. Because also on the flip side, it's not just that dank darkness, we also have the Queen of Spears and the Emperor here. You're a really powerful person. I'm not sure you realize, because again, like when I got that Cancer card earlier, I saw you as a soft individual with like a really hard shell, but like a lot of us, most of us, like you think Cancer, you think a soft creature protected by a hard shell, but you know, just because you need a hard shell, like everybody could use a hard shell. We all have our vulnerabilities. What matters is that you've managed to turn your vulnerabilities into a strength. How you've done that, I don't know. There's too many of you here, but you've done that. You know, you're a passionate, fiery person. Of course, I think you were mostly air. If I can... And this isn't necessarily your zodiac placements, it's just what I was seeing. Yeah, mostly Gemini, Aquarius, but you guys are fiery, powerful people. You're very grounded, and you'll accomplish a lot. And even if everything panned out in the worst possible way this winter, after this winter, when the sun comes out and it warms up outside, things are going to start getting better. I feel that very strongly for some reason. I didn't even draw a card that said that necessarily. It's just, I don't feel like this is going to last forever, and it's because of who you are and what you are capable of. You are capable of so much more than even you could ever guess. And that is why you are going to succeed, whereas these gossipy little bitches are going to fail. Where did I put that water? Oh God, yes. And I am what, only halfway through? Oh God. You see, this is why I only do 4 of these a year. If you're wondering, why does Sad Crow Man only do these readings 4 times a year? This is why. There will never be a January, February, March, April reading. No. We're doing seasons. We're doing seasons. That's how it's going to be forever. I am never going to do more than that. That's just way too much effort on my part. I'm sorry, guys. I just can't. But I liked your reading a lot. It may not have been the smoothest road, but you know, sometimes the roughest road will lead you to the biggest reward. For some reason I just felt like, I don't know where that even came from. That didn't feel like it came from me. That felt like it came from someone else. I don't remember what I said just now, but whatever it was, thank my spirit guides, because they're probably the ones that said it, because I don't know what I just said just now. Stop talking out my mouth, guys. Rude of you to talk out my mouth like that. Anyway, please rate, subscribe, and blessed be, motherfuckers. See y'all. Today I'm going to show you the manifestation method I used to earn like over $10,000 to move out. The most important thing you want to keep in mind, of course, always, is that in order to make it work, you have to believe in it. First, I will tell you what things you need to get started. Then I'll tell you how I did this and how it worked for me, because again, belief is it's the most important ingredient. so you need to know why this works for me. And then after that, I'll get into how to do the spell. So you'll need a jar. That's pretty much it. Alrighty, for those of you who chose My Chemical Romance, this reading is for you. Ta-da! I didn't pre-pick these cards. I shuffled them like normal, but I wanted it to be cute, so I put them in the CD case. So we have some zodiac signs right here. Actually, not all of them are zodiac. Constellation, that's the word I've been searching for this whole time. We got some constellation cards, and that's going to tell you about what to expect this winter, about what vibe you're putting out this winter. We got some obstacles that you'll be facing this winter. And then we have some advice cards for you. Can we just appreciate the art? It's so good. Anyway. Oh wait, hold on. One thing before I start this reading. Sorry. I love them too, okay? I love them too. But how am I supposed to resist doing something like that? So, we got Cetus, super cool. We got Pisces, Taurus, and Virgo. Now, your signs could be Pisces, Taurus, and Virgo. Oh, and I should mention I use constellational astrology. It's similar to sidereal astrology, but it also references the size of the constellations. So, you might have different placements in the astrology I use as opposed to, you know, if you're using tropical or even sidereal. But if you don't feel like generating your constellational chart and you know your sidereal chart, it should be that. But I don't look at these and think necessarily, this person probably has Pisces, Taurus, and Virgo placement, so that may very well be true. I'm seeing this kind of energy in you this, winter. So you might be a little more precise this winter, pretty creative, maybe even a little pedantic sometimes, a bit serious, but it's because you really want to ensure your future. You want to ensure you stay stable this holiday season. Whether it be financially or your mental health, you're seeking stability this holiday season. And with Pisces, I sense some sensitivity there, but also a deep wisdom. But you may not like yourself too much. I don't know. I'm getting that with Cetus. Cetus was actually a sea monster. And it was sent by Neptune to terrorize, and I wrote this down because I knew I'd forget it if I didn't, so I wrote on my card. Oopsie, bad on me. But yeah, it terrorized an ancient kingdom and was sent by Neptune to devour Andromeda. Now, Cetus was eventually, depending on the legend, either stabbed to death by Perseus, or Perseus used Medusa's severed head to turn Cetus into stone and slayed it that way. But after that, Perseus fell in love with Andromeda. So I'm kind of seeing both sides here. I'm seeing a little bit of Perseus in you, and I'm seeing a bit of Cetus in you. Like, you strike me as the type of person who loves very, very deeply. But also, you're very hard on yourself. A lot of emotional depth. Alright, let's see what your obstacles are, because I've hit a dead end. Alone in the world and sacrifice. Okay. So, something tells me, even if you do have a partner, which most of you who chose this pile probably do not, again, this is a group reading, it's not going to resonate for everyone, but for the most part, you feel alone, you're having a hard time keeping things clean, you're having a hard time caring for yourself, let alone others around you. Now, what is this sacrifice? That's interesting to me. I am going to, let's see, I already have that tarot deck out, but I'm using that one for something else. Hold on, let me reach for another tarot deck. use the Darkwood Tarot by Sasha Graham, illustrated by Abigail Larson, one of my favorite illustrators. Spirit guides, what is this sacrifice? Could you have possibly given me more cards? They do this on purpose. It's to hurt me. My spirit guides like it when I'm in pain. All this row to explain. Okay. Well, we have the Two of Cups in reverse, which does not surprise me at all. This is the idea I got from the beginning, but I thought, oh man, that's too sad. I don't want that to be real. But I'm getting the impression that there is somebody you really liked, but there was somebody else in their life who they liked, and you decided to let go or stop pursuing them so they could be happy with this other person. That is pretty heavy. And of course, you are reaping the consequences of that. You are alone because you made this decision. Otherwise, you actually might have been able to have a chance with this person. I hate to tell you this now that you've made this decision, but hopefully this is a future decision you were thinking about making, because I'm seeing you have a chance, but you didn't take that chance. You kept, you used your words very carefully, maybe a little too conservative with your words, actually. Withholding a little too much. I mean, there's something to be said, and of course, I don't think you did this necessarily out of shyness per se, though that may have been a part of it. I think quite a bit of it as you see yourself as sacrificing your own happiness so this person could find happiness, be that with another person, or maybe they found a job offer somewhere else overseas or something, maybe not necessarily overseas, but something that puts some distance in between you guys. You know, I wasn't planning on doing a love reading, spirit guides. I was planning on doing a not love reading. I wanted like a general reading, like, you know, career, things to watch out for. Love is what's on this pile's brain. That's what it is. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. So should I try to force it, or... Okay, we'll see what else is in there. We'll see what else is in there when we draw our advice cards. There's still more to your life than that. You're just acting like your life is over. It's not over. In the middle of difficulty lies opportunity. Albert Einstein. Muhammad Ali. Don't count the days, make the days count. You know what that means. I don't have to tell you twice. Amy Gatliff. The greatest act of faith some days is simply to get up and face another day. You're depressed as hell, man. And G.K. Chesterton. The real great man is the man who makes every man feel great. Alright. So that's all good and well and all, and I'm sure that's how you're thinking, but you need something to look forward to in your life. If you are just sitting there ruminating, daydreaming, hyperfixating on this one person, and pining away from afar, that is not fair to you. That is not fair to you at all. Alright? There is more to your life than that. This portion has been very short. And I mostly just feel like I've been scolding you. It comes from a place of love. I used to do this very same thing when I was a young person with dreams. To all of my exes, I hope you all die. All of you. In a fire. Now, anyway. Okay. I didn't actually mean that. Alright, so March for my pile. Not March. Oh, I'm skipping to the end. To the pile who chose My Chemical Romance, Black Parade. What are they looking for this December? Is there anyone new coming in? No. Not yet. Not yet. It'll take a minute, okay? It'll take a hot minute, okay? Not December. No one new in December, but maybe later. About January. Are you even pursuing anybody? Okay, not January either. You gotta get over them eventually. You gotta get over them eventually. You can't pine forever. Still being an idiot in February, I see. Okay, okay. What about March? Guys, I don't like the energy I'm seeing. It seems to me like you've given up. We don't do giving up on this channel. Listen, in the middle of difficulty lies opportunity. There are people out here. I'm going to redraw all of these. I'm going to pretend I didn't see them, okay? I'm going to pretend I didn't see them, and that is not your fate. And you are going to get out there and you are going to find somebody else. Why did I draw these? I wasn't paying attention. I didn't even ask a question. I do that a lot. Spirit guides, what can we do to help this group know their worth? First of all, yes, know your worth. Know your worth, guys. And once you know your worth, Death in reverse, Knight of Swords, Temperance, Knight of Cups. Okay, this doesn't seem to be a love reading. You don't have to jump right into another partnership, by the way, of course. Man, you guys are mood swingers. But anyway, yeah, you don't have to jump right into something else. It might be worse for you in the long run, in fact. Right now, it may be best for you to distract yourself with something else. Like seasons 1 through 7 of Game of Thrones. The only seasons that exist. Now, with this Knight of Cups, you know, I'm sensing the Knight of Cups. Oh my god, I'm sorry. Knight of Swords. I'm seeing a lot of drama, a lot of change. And, you know, some things are being left behind in the past, yes, but there's still going to be some emotional turmoil, though, after this change, because not all of these changes were positive. Then we got the Temperance and the Knight of Cups here. Nine of Cups, excuse me. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, thank God we are. I did hit play. I was going to die. If I didn't hit play, I was literally going to drop dead. I was going to drop dead right in front of the camera. And everyone would know that I died because I forgot to hit record on a tarot reading, and that would be so embarrassing, and I don't think I'd be able to live that one down, except, because I'm dead. But anyway, what I see you guys doing is drowning yourself in your work. And there's a good side and a bad side to that, because obviously I'm seeing some depression here. And like, a lot of people won't believe me. They'll be like, nah, you gotta be kidding me. But actually, one of the best things you can do for yourself when you're depressed is to get up and work. Because, you know, you're doing something, you're getting your mind off of the stressful things, you're getting a little bit of exercise instead of lying in bed all day. And there's definitely some good parts to it, but don't strain yourself too much, alright? Find some activities also that make you happy. Not just activities that make you feel like you've progressed in life. Let's see, anything else coming up? Let's move toward January, February. What can this group expect? Queen of Swords. Okay. You'll be monitoring your thoughts more carefully around this time. I don't know why I got that. I don't usually get that with the Queen of Swords, but you'll also be thinking more carefully with what you do next in your life. Forewarned is forearmed. It just seems to me like you're trying to learn as much as you can about something. Hopefully not someone. I don't know. I'm not sure exactly what I'm getting. Clarify it for me, Spirit Guides. Why the Queen of Swords? What are they preparing for? The Four of Swords. What else are they preparing for? Queen of Wands, Ace of Wands. Well, the Queen of Wands is upright, so that might not be too bad. There might be another person kind of entering your life around that January, February, March zone, but I don't see you immediately jumping on them. I'm getting a female energy here, but they may not necessarily, or I shouldn't say female, a feminine energy here, but they could be a rather feminine male as well, or non-binary. But they are a fiery individual. And, let's see. Yeah, the energy that you're putting out is very earthy and watery. You might clash a bit. Like, this person might make you feel actually exhausted quite a bit. I'm not gonna lie. But if you do decide to go for them, it might be passionate, but not necessarily compatible. Like, does that make sense? Like, the relationship would be very passionate, but not always in a way that's compatible. Like, you may have different ideas of what is consent, when is too soon, that sort of thing. Just, or your values might be a bit skewed. One of you could be very quiet, the other very loud, something like that. Spirit guides, is this a good relationship? Just tell me point blank. Ace of Pentacles, Five of Cups. Good and bad. I know that is like the last thing anyone wants to hear. That makes it so much more complicated. Let's move on to February to March. Six of Coins, some kind of victory. And then we have this Four of Swords again. Okay, we got Four of Swords twice now. So I'm thinking it is in reference to this person. I'm picking up an alternate message. You guys may have some vacation days where you'll get an opportunity to rest. And I'm also wondering if maybe you're putting this person down, like, nah, no, I don't think so. I'd rather be alone pining over the sweetheart that I sacrificed earlier. Which is like super hardcore pathetic, but if that's what you want to do. I'm sorry I'm so mean. I got the impression you wanted meanness from me, so I'm delivering on the meanness. Right, anything else? So I want to give this pile some hope, because I've given them a big pile of shit so far is what they've gotten from me, so let's see. The Hermit, lots of isolation. Okay, but are there any blessings for this group? We like blessings in this house. I said blessings in this group. Are there any blessings? You might be getting a new boss. I don't know how that's a blessing, but maybe it is for somebody here. Maybe you're having problems with your boss, and maybe you getting a new boss, maybe that's a good thing. If it's not a boss, it could be any kind of spiritual teacher or a supervisor, somebody above you, someone senior could be transferring out. I don't see how this is really a blessing unless you've had a problem with somebody. But anyway, with Two of Coins, I do see you being able to balance your assets through all this, because I have seen a bit of you know, some discouragement about your finances throughout this reading, just little hints of it, and it seems like you're going to be able to stay afloat just okay. You may have to make certain sacrifices with that as well, which is unfortunate, but I think everything's going to be okay for you guys in the end. But I would like some more blessings, please, Spirit Guides. Joyfulness. Okay, there will be some joyfulness in your life too, so it won't be all sadness. There may be sadness over this one person, and that seems to be kind of taking over your life, but that's not all that there will be to your life. There will be some happiness this holiday season as well. Anything else, Spirit Guides? Enemy? Oh, sorry, that's for me, not for you guys. I got distracted and I started zoning out, and I was like, this sounds like an awful lot like it could be for somebody who dislikes me. Somebody who dislikes me quite a bit would fall under this group, and the answer to that was yes, so... Hi there, how you doing? We don't have to hate each other, you know that, right? You can just stop being a prick. They're probably not here right now. Anything else? Blessings? Any other blessings? Well, a lot just fell out. We have room. Some of you may be redecorating your room during this time, making it look nice. Or you'll have a sudden burst of energy one day and you'll be able to actually clean your room for once. That's also fun. I like it when that happens. Waiting. Okay, so a lot of waiting. That doesn't seem like much of a blessing to me, but it seems to imply that toward the end, something sorrow in reverse. Yeah, there may be someone new coming in. Just try not to be too frivolous with your finances. I know that dopamine hit that can come from spending money or eating unhealthy food, but try to treat yourself well this holiday season. I know this is the hardest time of year to do that because there's like cakes and cookies everywhere, and I mean, that's not my taste personally. I lucked out in that department. I'm more of a vegetable person. Black coffee. I have unfathomable taste buds, but anyway, I have been dragging this reading out, but you know, I wish you guys the best, really and truly, and I hope everything works out for you in the end. Please rate, subscribe, and blessed be, motherfuckers. Today I'm going to show you the manifestation method I used to earn like over $10,000 to move out. The most important thing you want to keep in mind, of course, always, is that in order to make it work, you have to believe in it. First, I will tell you what things you need to get started. Then I'll tell you how I did this and how it worked for me, because again, belief is the most important ingredient. So you need to know why this works for me. And then after that, I'll get into how to do the spell. So you'll need a jar. That's pretty much it. Okay, last but sure as hell not least, we have Lana Del Rey Blue Bannisters. If you chose this CD, this pile is for you. Now, just so you know, I didn't pre-select these cards. I shuffled them randomly. I just thought they'd look cute in the CD case, okay? So I have some constellation cards, and these will be the energy that you are experiencing, just kind of in general this winter. Then I have, oh god, what was this called? I think the Dark Mirror Tarot, the Black Mirror Tarot, something like that, Oracle cards. And these will be the obstacles you will be facing. And then I have some little quote cards, and these will give you some helpful advice. And then after that, we will get into your tarot cards to try to predict the general flow of events this winter for you, so that way if something comes up you don't like, you can try to change it before it gets there. The future is malleable. Alright, let's start with your constellations. We have Corona Australis, that's Latin for the painter's easel. Leo. Aries, lots of fire so far. Canis Major, that was Orion's hunting dog. Interesting. We have Pegasus and Centaurus. We got a lot of creatures here and a lot of fire. That's interesting. Now, I use constellational astrology, which is similar to sidereal, but in addition to... okay, so tropical or Western astrology, what most people use, follows the equinoxes. Then there's sidereal, which follows the actual position of the stars. And then there's constellational, which takes it a step further and also references the size of the constellations. But you do not have to know. This isn't an astrology reading, so you don't really have to know. What I'm getting here is a lot of fire energy off of you, no matter what your sign is in whatever astrology I am using. I say that like I don't know what astrology I'm using. So right now you're going to... I feel like in this winter you kind of want to be in the spotlight. If not, well, like... Not necessarily in an I want to be famous way, though a lot of you do want to be famous, but in you want people to pay attention to you. Especially during this holiday season. You want your time in the sun. Which sucks because these are the shortest days of the year. Now, I'm getting the idea that a lot of you are very creative people because, okay, so we'll start with Corona Australis again. It's Latin for painter, but what it really is it represents the painter's easel. So I'm sensing there's some painters here, but there's also some poets here, I think, because we also got Pegasus. Now, Pegasus was born from beheading Medusa, but blah blah blah. All that aside, Pegasus actually lived, and yes, I wrote on my card so I wouldn't forget this stuff. Pegasus lives kind of, you know, in this far off, I think a floating island or something, but there's a spring where Pegasus lives, and if you drink from that spring, you get the gift of poetry. And I find it very interesting also that you chose Lana Del Rey's Blue Bannisters. If you are not familiar with the work of Lana Del Rey, her work is very cerebral. I think I can get a better camera angle than this. Why have I been using this shitty camera angle this whole time? Maybe I should lower it. Okay, whatever. You don't care. You know, she's known for her songwriting skills, basically, is what I'm trying to say. And also, you could be very good music or aspiring musicians because you also got Centaurus. And that tends to represent Chiron, who was a specific teacher. And he mentored in... Or at least there was one centaur, it might not have been Chiron, I don't know. I may be remembering incorrectly. But he tutored in medicine, music, and hunting. So one of those could be for you. I mean, she has these hunting dogs here. In medicine's a pretty common field to go into. It might not necessarily be traditionally what we think of medicine. It may be psychology. I'm sensing some kind of field like that for you. Maybe even therapy. Oh, and also we got Canis Major. Now Canis, you know, canine dog. Orion's hunting dog. And it is the fastest dog in the world. I think a lot of you are dog lovers, and if you have dogs, your dogs love you a lot. I mean, I know you already know that, but for some reason that's the message I'm picking up, is that your dogs love you a lot. And I mean, I know that's a lame message. Now you're about to fight me. You're like, that is not a lame message. Okay, let's look at your obstacles. But first I'm gonna drink some water. Alright, so we got Calling the Storm, Obsession, and Queen of My World. Did I remember to hit record? Okay, looks like I did. Okay, from this, I'm getting the impression that there is somebody you are low-key obsessed with. It's not necessarily like a dark way. It could just be like a hyperfixation. But there's some obsessive energy here, and you may feel like you're going to explode. And it may not be a person either. As a matter of fact, for a lot of you, probably most of you, I'm thinking this has nothing to do with a person and everything to do with your creative career. There may be a muse you have that kind of directs the flow of these things, like that you draw inspiration from, which, that's what a muse is for. But I think a lot of you are obsessed with your artwork, and I don't think that's necessarily a bad, toxic thing. And I think these these advice cards will help you bring that out in a healthy way that doesn't cause you to self-destruct when you let loose, you know. So we have Orson Swett Martin. Most obstacles melt away when we make up our minds to walk boldly through them. Once you choose hope, anything is possible. And that's Christopher Reeve. You are never too old to set another goal or dream another dream. Or to dream another dream, or whatever. C.S. Lewis. I think this is a great card to pair with Lana as well, because Lana, she's about 35, 36 years old. She's still making music. You're never too old to make music. You're never too old to write poetry. In fact, sometimes some of the best stuff comes from people who are older. When we are older and have more experience in the world. Our society, it may praise youth, it may think it loves youth, but a lot of our best, artistic achievements come from people who have been through the hard school of life. Anyway, I still have some more advice cards, 2 more in fact. Pablo Picasso, everything you can imagine is real. And Orson Swett Martin again, find your purpose and fling your life out to it. So yeah, despite the fact that these cards seem very, very dark, I really think that there is a positive way you can channel these strong emotions into your art. This is definitely my creative pile, but I've had a lot of creative piles before, but I don't get the usual energy off of this. This is somebody who is deeply, deeply obsessed with their work. And this may be an unpopular opinion, but I don't think that's a bad thing. Now let's look at your December. What's coming your way this December? Oh, I got the hiccups. Shit. Alright, the King of Coins and the Knight of Coins. You are in pursuit, deep pursuit of this, and you want to make a living at it too. I see. So it seems to me that in the early winter, so we're looking December 21st to December 31st. You're going to be trying to find ways to make money with your work. Some of you may start doing art commissions or opening up listings on Fiverr, something like that, to try to get by, so that way you can save up the money to take your creative vision, this creative vision you're obsessed with, and make it an actual reality. And good on you, really. The Hanged Man in reverse. That's interesting. Hanged Man in reverse. Okay, at this point you may be rethinking your objective. You may be thinking, like, by the end of this month, God, is this really a realistic goal? Is this goal really worth it? Can I really make it? So many people fail, so why should I think that I would be the one to make it? And the reason you will make it is because you have the drive to make it. Not everyone has this drive. In fact, I'd say maybe like 2% of the population has this drive. Yeah, like, I'm just gonna have to put my faith in the universe to where hopefully that very small percentage of the population who has this drive is led and guided to this, finding this tarot reading, because they need to see this, because God, y'all, you know, you're not wasting your time. It's just, it's not gonna happen overnight. That's all. I mean, it might, but not over this night necessarily. Sometimes things take time, they take steady effort, but as long as you maintain this drive and you keep going and you keep going and you keep going, you will get there eventually. I promise you will get there eventually. I have more faith in this group than I've ever had faith in a group before, okay? I'm not kidding. You think I'm kidding. You think I'm blowing smoke up your ass. You don't believe me. You've heard stuff like this before in readings. You think this is absolute horseshit. I promise you, I am not a nice reader. I don't tell people nice things. Just ask the last group. Ask pile number 3 how great and happy their reading was. Alright. Okay. What about January? How's January 23 going to be treating this group? Strength. Okay, by January, I think you're going to have some of your resolve back. It's normal to temporarily doubt yourself sometime, but what's important is that you bounce back. You know, you fall down X number of times and you get back up X plus 1 number of times. That's what matters. I'm not taking that many. Alright, so what about February now? Two of Spears. Nice, nice, nice. Okay, so there may be some traveling involved or a partnership. You see, she's like looking up over the, you know, 2s are about balance, so it could be a partner. There's her dragon there, the dragon that helps her watch over Marine. It can also be travel too, because like, you know, sometimes you gotta travel. I know personally, like, there could be some kind of a business trip. You know, there are business trips in the arts too. You may be traveling to meet a producer, for example. You may be traveling to pitch your idea. Maybe you've created like the concept for a game and you're going to pitch it to Nintendo or something. I don't know what you're doing. But you do have a choice. You don't necessarily have to make this choice. If you would rather stay put where you're at and keep working the way you have been, you can, but I'm sensing an opportunity for you to travel coming this winter. And I mean, it'll be more favorable to do it then than another time, perhaps, for a lot of you. And if it's not physical travel, it could also mean starting something new. Like you're stepping into new territory with your work, if that makes sense, you know. It could also mean you're starting something new, like you're not necessarily starting a new project, but like going into new territory with your work. Like, to use myself as an example for what I mean by this, I'm working on my book re-release right now, and I recently decided to make a huge change to it, and I'm exploring all sorts of new themes in my book that I didn't think I'd get a chance to because the format held me back previously. But now that the format is in a different structure, I'm able to explore things I never thought I'd get to before. Alright, things seem to be trucking along pretty fast for you guys. It may even get too fast at some point. So if you ever feel like you're reeling, like, oh my god, I can't believe this is going so fast, so fast, so fast, take a breather every now and then. Yeah. You know, the Emperor, the King of Spears in reverse, the Tower, you may feel definitely like it's going too fast, but you can just take a momentary breather every now and then. You know, keep your mental health in check, ground yourself every now and then, and you should be fine. Now let's ask about February. We were on February, right? February, Knight of Swords. I didn't want to see him. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't want to see him. Because this boy here, Sir Ramsay Bolton, he means drama, okay? There's stress, there's conflict, there's change, and I mean, I guess I called it before the cards even came out. There may be some stress there because whereas things may have been moving very slow in the past, they're starting to move really quickly, and that can be stressful. But remember, just keep your nose to the grindstone, the brains to I can't talk, but you know what I mean. You may have to pace yourself, like. Using myself as an example again, when I wrote the first draft of Cry for the Devil, I wrote the whole thing in 1 month. I was writing upward 5,000, 7,000, 8,000 words a day, and my fingers still hurt to this day. This was 5 years ago, and my fingers still somewhat hurt to this day because of all the strain I put on them. I had them in splints for quite a while, so, you know, be sure to pace yourself. Do not rush yourself too much. And now lastly, we're going to look at your March 1st through 20th. What can we expect? Eight of Coins in reverse, Two of Cups in reverse. Okay, you may actually finish this project by March. This isn't for all of you. But I think a lot of you, because, you know, 8 of Coins upright, that is working very diligently towards something. And your pile just has so much drive, I don't see you stopping unless it's done. So for a lot of you, I am sensing you finishing some kind of creative project or finishing the first draft of a creative project by March. So by the time spring is here. However, relationships may have taken a toll by this point as well. You can avoid this future by nurturing your relationships more during this time. So instead of like going like the Energizer Bunny all through this to drive to finish this project by spring, take some time to nurture the relationships in your life as well in order to make sure you can stay in communication and they don't dwindle away. because you do need people in your life. It may seem like all you need in your life is your creative projects, your art, but you do need more than that. You need a good deal more than that. So anyway, this reading was very straightforward. I really like your energy. And good luck with this. It seems like everything's going great. That's all I have for you. Please rate, subscribe, and blessed be, motherfuckers. See y'all. Today I'm going to show you the manifestation method I used to earn like over $10,000 to move out. The most important thing you want to keep in mind, of course, always, is that in order to make it work, you have to believe in it. First, I will tell you what things you need to get started. Then I'll tell you how I did this and how it worked for me, because again, belief is the most important ingredient. So you need to know why this works for me. And then after that, I'll get into how to do the spell. So you'll need a jar. That's pretty much it.